I'll listen to that.
Okay.
Who's teaching that?
Good afternoon.
Hi.
We're just starting up early and we'll be right with you, okay?
Yep, I was just making sure that I was
Make it work,
hooking
right?
up and everything was working.
Okay, great. We'll be right with you.
Big Tom,
Hola.
how you be, buddy?
Good.
Jim Shear.
There's the Jim.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey,
Your video.
yep, it says I can't share my screen.
Here's your mute. Here's your video off. If your video's on, I see. Okay, next sense.
Hi.
Hi.
You know, that's well, things.
That's share screen. Is that got to be done by the host? Host on that, Tom.
Yeah, he was on and he said, because I was waiting, and then he said, we'll be with you in just a minute. I said, okay.
Yeah, he normally has it set so that you can share your screen. So
Yeah. But
it's okay, we got a few minutes.
Yeah, it shows share screen on mine, but I haven't tried to click it.
So how's the other training gone?
Yeah, he'll. Thus far, the days went real well.
Good.
Chuck or Chip will be on in just a second to introduce.
Okay.
We're here.
Hey, Chip. Yeah, it won't let me share my screen again.
Okay, you're good.
Hopefully you're sharing. You guys are seeing the PowerPoint?
Yes, it's very pretty.
Where is this?
Ta-dum.
That's somebody who's asking me what the password is for the. Somebody wants to join the treasurer's meeting.
All right, I'm just trying to figure out why it's not giving me the preview.
Password is 102275, right? Is that right?
Let's see. 102, yeah, read it to me again.
102275.
102,275. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
You having a technical issue, Tom, or?
Well, it should show me the preview. I'm not sure why it's not. But we'll, there we go. Now it's showing me the preview. That's what I want. I'd like to know what the next slide is.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dear. Sure why it didn't do that automatically. Do we know how many people we're expecting, or?
No, we didn't have our registration, but looks like we've got pretty good attendance here. So I show the big hand right at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this training to order. Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
I am your district governor, Chip Kunka, and we welcome you to Club Treasurer Training. And we thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedule on a holiday Sunday afternoon to learn about being a treasurer. It's a very important job within your Lions Club. I would like to acknowledge our second vice district governor, Jim Gregory, and our global leadership team coordinator, Linda Gregory, and our immediate past cabinet treasurer, Tom Maver, who will be the presenter for today. All right. So I'm going to quit talking for a moment here. Lion Jim, do you have anything to say?
No, we were having a brief discussion there before you came on, Jeff. I'm good. You got a good man there to teach your treasury. If anybody can do it, Tom can do it.
And Lion Linda?
I'm just excited to see some treasurers who've come for training. I hope that Tom, and I know Tom can do it. I hope that you'll learn a lot, and looking forward to a new year in Lions.
Oh, we even got one more just joining us here. So, Lion Linda, do you have all the names and from the clubs yet, or?
I don't have club names, but I've got names.
Okay.
That's who it was.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as you've got that, we're going to turn it over to Lion Tom. Have at it.
All right. Thank you guys for coming today. As everybody has said, this is the treasurer training. The idea of the treasurer training is this presentation is from Lions Club International. I used it last year and it's kind of effective. It does an overview to start with. It talks about your role as a treasurer within your club. And then we'll talk about some more details about what's required here in Florida. How many of you have been treasurers of your clubs before? How many of you is this a new experience for?
New to me.
This is new.
I've been in about a year.
Okay. All
I've
right.
been in about a year, but a treasurer in another area
another organization.
Okay. Yeah, and all that experience is good. I mean, Lions don't do anything magical. We have a few rules and a few things that are a little different, but so this is we'll go through, we'll do an introduction.
Tom, let me ask you a question. Excuse me. This is Kim Rossman. I'm from Inverness, like that. Are you going to talk about the different forms within Florida that need to be filed within specific timelines? Is that within your outline or not?
I have the
For instance, the IRS form that needs to be filed, the Department of Agriculture, Department of Corporation, that kind of thing. Just curious.
yeah. I haven't, it's not in the presentation of how to fill out those forms, only
Okay,
that
thank you.
Only that they need to be filled out.
Okay. Thank you so much. I forgive me for interrupting. I was just, those are things that I was interested in. Please continue. My apologies. My apologies.
Here for a second.
Yep.
Yeah, Lion Kim, in the chat room, if you go to the chat button at the bottom of Zoom, I have included a timeline of when those things need to be filed, okay? The Department of Agriculture, the 990N, all of those forms, okay? And that
Thank you. I do need when, I do know when, because I had an excellent treasurer to learn from. I do know when they need to be filed. I was just looking for details on how to file them, those types of things. So yeah, we'll talk in the chat room. Thank you so much. I appreciate your guidance. I really do.
Okay, back to you, Tom.
I mean, we can actually, I file my 1090Ns online. So, I mean, I should be able to figure out, get to the website today and do it if we have some time. Okay, so one of the assumptions of this course is, you know, just like most typical courses, we start at the basics of what Lionism is, what your role is within Lionism. And I think the thing that people have to remember, you know, we're part of a much bigger organization, a 1.4 million plus members worldwide, and that integrity and responsibility are important to the organization. You know, one bad apple kind of spoils the whole bunch. Lions Club International is made up of clubs. Clubs are the focal point of the organization, along with the region, local and region and global scale. There is a workbook that goes along with this. It refers to the workbook. Just ignore those references. You can find the workbook online, and I'll show you where all that information is at the end of the course. To charter a new club, the goal, you need at least a minimum of 20 people. And really to define a healthy club has at least 20 people. And I know that's not true of a lot of our clubs today, but that should always be our goal, is to have more than 20 people. You know, the talks here about the zone, the region, the district, the multiple district, and the constitutional area. And even within the constitutional area, between the multiple district and the constitutional area here in Area 1, there are other subdivisions that you'll get to hear from the more you get involved with Lions. But ultimately, the individual club is the heart of the association. Okay, the purpose of Lions, the stated purpose of Lions is to empower volunteers to serve the community, meet humanitarian needs, and encourage peace, promote international understanding through Lions Club. Everything that happens within your Lions Club should be geared towards that mission. Lions clubs that spend money on anything else are really not fulfilling their need, fulfilling this mission. So as part of, and we'll talk more about your role within the club, but you need to remember this, because not spending money on these things or spending them on other things is really not being a good fiduciary of your responsibilities.
You know what? I'm sorry. I'm confused, Tom. What does that mean?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, by not spending money on other, you were talking about something. I'm not sure. I mean, we spend money on vision-related needs in our club, but what are some examples of other things that don't fit, so to speak?
There are occasions. Our primary goal is to meet humanitarian needs. Obviously, Lions Club International has the 5 major targets, but we're not restricted to those. There are clubs who spend copious amounts of money on things even within their community that are not within these goals. And, not necessarily here in the United States, but in other countries as well. We need to understand that as a organization, these are our goals. And I don't know, I'm not sure what a good example would be in the US, but these are the things that they would like you to keep in mind as you serve as a member of the board of directors of your Lions Club.
Very good. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
So, and I don't know how many of your clubs have their own constitution and bylaws. Each club really should have their own, but the standard constitution and bylaws of Lions Club International sets the standards, and essentially you cannot have anything in your constitution and bylaws that counters or nullifies what is in the standard club constitution. You're going to see a series of statements and whether or not they reflect the stated purpose of Lions Club. The stated purpose, and Chip can correct me if I'm wrong, I just saw it today, but I think it's these should be in the standard directory for everybody. So, and this is kind of pretty simple. The purpose of Lions Club is to unite members in the bonds of friendship, good fellowship, and mutual understanding. As I said, it's their presentation. It's kind of cool. To encourage service-minded people to serve their community without personal financial reward, and to encourage efficiency, promote high ethical standards in commerce, industry professions, public works, and private endeavors. I'll give you an example. Actually, you know what? It just came to me an example of when I took over my club's books about 5 years ago. The previous president, who is no longer with the club anymore, had spent money on car rentals and gas for his private vehicle. What else? There was about $400 or $500 worth of expenses that he tried to claim were part of his volunteer work for the club. In essence, you know, they were not. And we went after him and were able to recover the majority of those funds. As a treasurer, you have to realize there's one thing to compensate somebody for their direct expenses, but nobody within the Lions clubs gets compensated for their time, nor should they get compensated excessively for other things. I've had people try to get compensated for printer ink, okay? And to buy somebody $100 printer ink, you have to ask yourself, well, how much printing did you do? And is that fair to the organization?
Okay.
This is the kind of things that as a treasurer, you got to ask those questions. Your board can overrule you, the board can move forward, but you're the first person to see the receipts, to see the requests, and you need to be kind of the judge. Does it fit within the purpose of Lions, and is it reasonable? So what do you guys think about this one? Is this one of the Lions' purposes? We're supposed to promote culture and civic duty.
What does moral welfare mean?
I don't know.
What does that mean? What does cultural welfare mean? I'm just asking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's a good question. I think that sort of a sense of patriotism, a source of, you know, we're not the judge of moral character, but moral welfare, that individual.
Oh, yes, we are, Tom. Yes, we are. We know what right and wrong is. Everyone on this forum knows what right and wrong is. But I'm just curious with regard to this particular question. Take an active interest in civic, cultural, and social and moral welfare of the community. How? I don't understand that question. I'm sorry. I just simply don't. Forgive me.
Okay.
So I'll be quiet. Go ahead,
that's
Tom.
fine. I mean, it is actually one of the purposes of Lions, that moral welfare comes down to honesty, integrity, and people, you know, and promoting that within your organization and within your community.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. I don't know why it comes up with the answer already. It says, which one of the following is not the stated purpose of Lions Club? And obviously it's to promote political leaders who support the mission of Lions Club. That is not one of our stated purposes. But it is to provide a forum for the open discussion of matters of public interest, you know, and promote the principles of good government and good citizenship. So that doesn't mean that you can't invite political people to your organization meetings and stuff like that. What we can't do is promote any individual publicly or any otherwise. And the reason, major reason for that is that it challenges our 501c 4 status as an apolitical organization, and would put at risk our 501c3 charitable organizations. But having those discussions, providing a forum for those discussions, as long as they're open to everyone, is not an issue.
Workbook?
Yeah, the work, as I said, there was a workbook with this original presentation, but it's not.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, so this will talk a little bit about the structure of Lions Club. The member is the fundamental start. It's a bottom-up kind of organization, but it still needs leadership. The Global Action Team, which consists of the president, the first vice president, the membership chairman, and service chairperson, are really the four most important leadership roles in the organization. But all of these in blue make up the board of directors. And we'll talk about the
When are you going to get into the discussion with regard to the treasurers?
This, you, as a member.
I mean, because I see this and I get it, I understand, but when are you going to get into the discussion of the treasurers?
As we go through this.
Thank you.
This is a treasurer's responsibility as a member of the board of directors.
Perhaps. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. As the treasurer, you are a financial officer of the club. Your responsibilities for all the finances matters of the club. All right. And you report to the president. If you have a larger club, 20 and 30 plus people, you would have also a finance committee who would serve with you. As I talked before, this is in the diagram, the previous diagram, these are the members of the board of directors. And if you go to the club officers team manual, which is available on lionsclubs.org, you'll find that all of the roles and responsibilities of the board of directors are defined there. So these are the responsibilities of the treasurer. All right, sorry, this is the board of directors, part of which falls in the all the expenditures that the treasurer makes have to be authorized by the board of directors.
Let me ask you something. If in the annual budget, the budget is approved, do the budget expenditures from the treasurer have to be approved?
The treasurer, well, some clubs require 2 signatures, but once the budget is approved by
the budget is approved, right?
Once the budget is approved by the board of directors, the treasurer is generally free to fulfill the requirements, but they also have to report back to the board of directors.
I understand that, but do they have to give approval from the board of directors?
The budget is approved by the board of directors. The treasurer's responsibility is to report as the budget is spent.
Yep.
So whether they need to give their approval or not, it's not like every check has to be approved, but it has to be within the guidelines which are approved by the board.
By the budget. Right. Okay.
But it's the board of directors could determine that every check needs to have 2 signatures, or it needs to have,
I mean, we do that with the audit process. I mean, I get that. I understand. But, okay, great. You answered my question. Thank you. I
Alright.
appreciate it. Thank you.
all right. Okay, just so, in case some of you aren't aware, the Lions Learning Center has free online courses for all of the different roles. Also has just general leadership things that are available to you free of charge. And you can find that on the Lions Learning Center. When you log on to My Lion, and hopefully most of you have logged on to My Lion by now, you will find on there is a link to all of the training courses now. Okay, so now into the responsibilities of the club treasurer. Treasurer is responsible for the budgets, annual membership dues. There are the membership dues, and we'll talk about it more in detail later, I think, is made up of the club dues, the district dues, the multiple district dues, and Lions Club International dues. All of that dues has to be collected by the treasurer and submitted to the organization, to the district, for the multiple district and the district, and then to Lions Club International. You're also, you're responsible for making all the payments, maintaining the financial records, filing club taxes. You need to attend all of the club meetings and board meetings so that you're up to date on all the information that's going on. Typically, clubs, and every club's a little bit different, has a regular board of directors meeting once a month, and a regular club meeting. Special meetings, according to the standard bylaws, can be called by the board of anyone in the board of directors, or 3 members of the board of directors need 10 days worth of notice to have special meetings annually. These are the standard meetings. So anyway, budgets are your responsibility. Done if you have a finance committee. The goal here is you need 2 sets of budgets, one for administrative expenses and one for activities. Lions clubs are not allowed to take out debt. So your income and your expenses, at least in your budget, should balance. And the 2 funds should balance independently of each other. So activity funds come from money raised from outside the Lions Club, and administration funds come from funds raised within the Lions Club. Oops, sorry. Try that again. Not sure.
I think we missed a slide or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, go back a couple.
No, this one.
1, 2.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. So what kind of things come out of administration? Post office boxes, any kind of meals, or buying, paying for the registrations with the state, would all come out of administrative funds. Dues is all out of administrative funds, both in and out. And it's probably that and the tail twister are the two primary sources for administration funds. You should be already collecting the annual dues and for your club. You will receive an invoice from the district treasurer probably the third week of July for the district dues and the multiple district dues for the first 6 months. What'll happen with that dues is you will be charged $5 for the district dues and $11 for the multiple district dues for the next 6 months, based on the number of members that were in your club on July 1st, actually June 30th, based on what the records of LCI. So there's that, and then anybody who was at it in the previous 6 months, so from January to June, you'll be charged a prorated amount for them. There's no refund on anyone who quit during those 6 months. They just charge you for anyone who is new. So if they start it in February, you get charged for 5/6 of the dues. So it gets a little more complicated.
All right. So, okay, Tom. So what exactly, because I'm sorry, I'm new at this.
Yep.
What is the MD35 and the district dues? What is that spent on? What do they spend that money on? Because we got to submit it, right? We have to submit it. So what is, how can I find out, where can I go online and find out where that money is spent?
Well, if you will attend the district cabinet meeting.
No, can I go online and find out where it's spent?
No, it wouldn't.
No, you can't do it. Okay. All right.
Not be published on any public website. Okay.
Yeah.
If you would need to have those figures, you would need to contact your cabinet treasurer and or
Well, that's me. Well, okay, that's fine. You know what? I just want to know. We send this money in. Where is it spent on?
Yeah.
It's a simple question.
No, it's a good question. There's no argument about it.
I'm just asking, because I've had other people ask me, and I came to this meeting and they said, ask the question.
I know,
So
and that's
I'm
good.
sorry. I mean,
I can give you.
I'm sorry.
No. I can give you examples of where the district money is spent. Okay, the district money is spent on covering some of the expenses of the first, second, and or the district governor, first and second district governor, for some of their travel expenses, because they have to travel the entire district.
Stop for just a minute. We're spending on their travel expenses for the first, second, and third district governor travel expenses. Is that correct?
To a supplement, it doesn't cover.
Okay. All right. I got it.
Yeah, the typical district governor costs them $10,000+ out of their own pocket.
Right, right, absolutely.
It pays for the websites. It pays for awards that are handed out. It pays for other items that are necessary to run an organization, including the.
What does that mean? Other items necessary to run an organization. What does that mean?
You have to file with the state, so you have to pay the state their fees.
I'm sorry, one more time, please.
I have to pay state, I have to pay for checks, I have to pay for all of the administrative things, postage and shipping and.
Yeah, we have to do that too as a local club, but you know, I appreciate that. I really do. My club, they asked me to ask these questions, so I am so sorry. You know,
Which club are you from? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm from Florida. I'm from Inverness, you know, whatever. But, you know, I was asked to ask these questions. So I have a list in front of me and, you know, I'm sorry.
Lion Tom,
Forgive
can I
me.
have a moment, please?
I don't mean to interrupt you, Tom. Forgive me.
Fine.
Yeah, Lion Kim, this is District Governor Chip Kunka.
Hi.
Yeah, anyway, if you have specific questions on the spending within your district, please contact your cabinet treasurer or contact your district governor, Harry Williams, and they will be more than happy to give you a copy of what the district budget is.
Okay.
Well, I just
Are you there?
in our district, and if somebody asks for a copy of the budget,
I
copy of it.
agree and I appreciate you, but yeah.
well, okay.
You know, it's something you and I can talk later.
Good idea.
Because
Okay.
Harry and I, whatever.
Okay.
Please continue.
Go ahead, Tom.
Have a question?
Obviously, it's your responsibility to make payments on behalf of the club. So you will get, if you haven't already, you should sign on to my LCI. You will find as the club treasurer that there's an invoice waiting for you. And you can pay that invoice online. It will be for the dues. You will also, from time to time, there are things that your board will authorize that can be purchased, banners, club material, and so forth, that can be or that is used as part of the operation of the club. You'll get bills for those, and they will come through my LCI. It talks about the entrance fees and the charter fees. And so you know that typically Lions Club International charges a $35 fee for members when they join. That fee has been waived from from July 1st through December 31st. So any new members, you do not have to collect that $35 fee from. So we really should make a concerted effort to add people during the next 6 months. And I realize as COVID-19 continues to restrict our abilities, that it's going to be a little bit harder. When you bring people on, you need to prorate their dues. Although I'm kind of a fan of collecting a whole year's worth of dues, no matter when they join, and then adjusting it later. But that's just me, because I want people to know how much the dues really is. In our club, we charge for all 3 dues. So the district, multiple district, the Lions Club International, actually I guess it's 4, and our club dues, we charge for a member, single member is $99. So we're taking, I think it's $30 for our club from each of our members. And then for the family membership, so your husband and wife, or that we charge them $177. So they get a little bit of a discount because LCI gives you a bit of a discount. Multiple district and district don't give you any discount. Okay. The only discount on dues is students. So a student is someone in full-time attendance at a college or university that is under the age of 30 years old. And they can be classified on LCI as a student, and they pay half the dues of the district, multiple district. Lifetime members. So lifetime members, there is no Lions Club International dues, but there is district, multiple district, and club dues for those people. Okay, so you'll need to be aware of that as you make your budgets and plans. We used to have a lifetime member. We don't have one anymore in our club, but there are quite a few of them. You can buy a lifetime membership for someone. I forget how many years they have to be a Lion before they're eligible. Obviously, accuracy is.
Hey, Tom.
Yep.
All right. Maybe you could talk a little bit to the new treasurers about filing their 990N. They could talk about filing the Florida Department of Agriculture, their solicitation authorization.
It's in the presentation.
Are you going to get to that or what?
Yes, we are. Great,
because we got the Division of Corporation Renewal and the sales tax exemption. That's great. Okay, good. Thank you.
I talked a little bit about my LCI already. We use it heavily in our district. For finances, for sure. You'll find all the past due statements are there. Let's go skim over this. I'm sure, have anyone not received an email from LCI instructing you how to get on to my LCI? Okay. Okay, maintaining the financial records. Personally, I know some clubs use spreadsheets, but I would recommend you use something like Quicken or QuickBooks, or there are a couple other products. I have another one that I use called Zoho Books. They're worth it in the sense that they help you keep track of things and they help you create reports. Quicken is good enough, and you can get a copy of Quicken for, I think they have a subscription service now for under $40 a year. And it's good for keeping track of what you owe, what you and what you've paid out, and where your finances are. And it's something that can be passed from one treasurer to the other. So what do you need to keep track of? All monies, regardless of the source, must be deposited. And this is hard for some people to understand. So if I'm at an event and I collect, $8,000 in cash, big event, I cannot and should not pay out of that money any of the expenses. All of the expenses for that event should be written on a separate check to the organization and the place. This is a standard accounting practice, and many small clubs, small organizations in general don't follow it. It's very important, and that you keep the receipts associated with any of the expenses, and to try and keep track of income. It's not always possible, just because of as a treasurer, you don't control everything. But when you're doing it, I'll give you a good example. When you do a 50-50 draw, right? Or you have a draw for prizes, you should record the first ticket number and the last ticket number, right? And the money collected that you get, that money should be reasonably accountable within that range of tickets. So, for example, if you were selling tickets, and there were 10,000 numbers missing, but you only collected $1,000 or $100, you would know that somebody might be pocketing money somewhere, right? If you're doing an event, which is very rare nowadays, where you're selling alcohol, much more important that you keep track of the first number and the last number, because typically that's how you pay for the drinks, is based on the number. But it is an auditable record of how much money was collected from an event, and that the Lions Club got all of the money that was collected. Lions Club should retain all the records, bank statements, invoices, receipts for 7 years. Typically, the government only goes, the United States IRS only goes back 3 years on an audit. But if they find that they believe there's fraud, they can go back not just to 7, they can go back as far as they feel necessary. So the financial information that you need to provide, it should include the amount budgeted for expense, the itemized income and expenses for the period, the net assets. And most of the time with clubs, unless you have physical property, we're talking cash bank accounts for the most part. And you should be reporting to the board monthly and to the club quarterly, running total of the amounts of these amounts. I'm not overly concerned about how your report is presented. There are two important things. There is the activities account and the admin account. Need to be reported separately. And it needs to be in an income and expense format. I have seen reports from within Lions organizations and within clubs and even the district where the format of the report isn't income and expense. And it's very difficult to really get comfortable with the numbers. In some cases, it was like they don't add up. But this is important. That's why I like if you use Quicken or you use one of the other financial pieces of software that are out there, you'll find it a lot easier. Okay, filing club taxes. So your club is a 501c4. You should have an EIN for your club. Contributions to the 501c4 are not tax deductible. You still have to file a 990 for your club. And that is based on the amount of money that you have. Lots of clubs have their own foundations. Okay, my club has the club and it has the foundation. The foundation needs to file everything separately. They file their own 501c3 or their own 990. The 990N probably applies to most clubs. It's a very simple form. All it basically is a postcard that says, this is our club and this is where we are. It asks for no money. It doesn't ask you what you did with it, where it came from.
Which is really, really good because we just got done filing the 990N a couple of days ago. And yeah, we didn't exceed the income threshold. And it worked really, really well. It was wonderful. And that is in addition to a grant that we received from Citrus County. So yeah, it worked.
Yeah. So if again, as I said, if you have both, you have to file both. You can't just file one.
Just the 990N, that worked.
Right, for the 501c4.
The charitable organization wanted us to file with all of our expenses. Unfortunately, we didn't meet the threshold of $50,000. So
Right.
we're going to file that, and we're going to file a financial statement. So that's all good.
Yep. Okay. Unrelated businesses. This probably doesn't apply to any of you, but a couple things about that. Bingos, certain bingo games are not unrelated trade or business, okay? Which means that they're exempt. So you don't have to report separately. But if you were to charge for the rental of your building or property, or to if you had excessive dividends and interest, you would have to report that income as unrelated business. There are arguments within even the accounting community about this, but as long as it's not a large amount of money, you don't typically have to report this as unrelated business in interest investments. The Florida Lions Foundation has a large endowment, and they do file their dividends and interest as unrelated business. So if you had a foundation that was earning, I don't know, you know, $30,000-$40,000 in interest and dividends, you would have a much more complicated situation. But this doesn't really apply to most clubs. If you have a, the other common thing, if you have what do you call them? A store, basically, where you're selling things, as long as the workers are all volunteers or mostly volunteers, majority of them are volunteers, it still doesn't fall under unrelated business. As long as all the goods, or the majority of the goods that you are selling are donated to you as opposed to reselling. There's a really fine line, and what the government's trying to do is prevent people, and I know people that do this, it's in my mind unethical, but what they'll do is they will create a charity, buy Christmas trees and resell them and pay themselves a salary for selling the trees, and the charity winds up with next to nothing. It's totally unethical, and I don't buy my trees from them. But you know, that's the kinds of things that go on. If you rent your property in Ontario, or in Ontario, in Florida, you have to charge sales tax for commercial rentals. 501c3s can, and you should, apply to the Department of Revenue, if your club already hasn't, for an exemption from the sales tax. So when we purchased the trailer for the disaster relief program, we spent close to $10,000 on equipment and so forth for it. We used the foundation to buy it because it was exempt from the sales tax, which saves, you know, on 10,000 bucks, that's what, 700 bucks. So that's one thing to be aware of. So in addition to being able to give tax receipts as a 501c3, you're also exempt from sales tax, but you have to apply for it. If you, some of the rules that you need to be careful of, if you're at an event, for example, even selling hamburgers, where there are other vendors there, food vendors selling food, in theory, you're supposed to be charging sales tax as well. There are people have ways of getting around it, but technically you should be charging sales tax, and that's why we tend to shy, at least my club tends to shy away from selling things where there are other commercial vendors. Okay. The Department of Agriculture is one of the filings that you have to make every year, and you have to register with the Department of Agriculture. Let me bring it over here. If your club is not registered with the Department of Agriculture, you need to be. This is their website here. I'll put the link in the chat. If I can find the chat. Why can't I find the chat? Can't find the chat.
Right in the middle of the bottom, Tom.
Yeah, when you're presenting, it's different. I know where it is when it's at the bottom.
Oh, you may have to go up to the top.
Yeah, there's annotate, remote control. There isn't a. I don't see a chat button. I gotta be.
I'll put it in there, Tom.
All right. Okay. So. All right. What am I doing here? Okay. So, this changed last year, year before. July 1st, 2018. Up until that time, we could keep charitable funds and commingle them in one bank account as long as we reported them separate. And that was a common practice. The Secretary of Agriculture in Florida has now made that a bad thing to do. So money raised from the public needs to be kept separate in a separate physical account. All of our clubs, or most of our clubs anyway, should fall in the small club category, $25,000 or less. You have to provide them with a financial statement, and I haven't got mine yet, or I would show you. And they expect that statement within 60 days of your year end. And if you don't file it, and you don't file for an extension, or you file for an extension and then forget about it, like my treasurer did last year, it's going to cost you a couple $100. So you can.
Sorry, cost you a couple $100 from whom?
From the state.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you have to file the extension based on your organization, is that correct?
You file the extension if you don't have your financial report ready.
Yeah, I know, but if you have your 990N and you filed it,
Your
they're not
990
going to give you any grief. Is
No.
that right? I'm just trying to understand this.
I understand. This is not your this has got nothing to do with your 990N. This is the state of Florida. This is the Florida Department of Agriculture.
Okay, thank you. Yes, excellent.
Okay. So when you solicit contributions, you have to file with them every year. You have 60 days from your year end to file. If you don't have your financial reports all done and approved by your board, you can ask for an extension, okay, for your financial reports. My club did it last year. My treasurer forgot about it. I was the president, and I didn't think to ask, or actually I thought I asked them if they were done, and they said yes, until I got served notice from the state.
Mm-hmm.
And the fine was over $500, but I sweet talked the lady down I think I got her down to $200.
Yeah, but Tom, let me ask you something. Okay, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm gonna, this is a discussion, right? If you file the department's financial report form, right? If you've got revenue less than $25,000, you can file that at any time, right? and you're
No.
not going to get dinged. Is that
No,
correct? No?
no, you're incorrect.
After July 1st?
You have 60 days from your year end to file.
Okay, right. Our year end is January 30th. So if you
Oh,
file
yours
it
is.
from,
No, it's not.
Your year end
Our
is June 30th.
fiscal year is June 30th.
right. So
Okay.
how does that work? I'm trying to understand.
What do you mean? If
You
you
have
don't-
60
Well,
days-
I'm just saying,
after
our
June
year
30th.
end is June 30th. If we file it on July 1st, 2nd, 3rd, whatever, with the Florida Department of Agriculture, is that a problem?
No,
No, just as long as you don't exceed 60 days.
Right, but I'm saying, I mean, if we file it within that 60-day period, it's not a problem?
no,
Yes or no?
it's not a problem.
Okay, all right, very good.
Okay.
Because that's what the previous treasurer and I did, and I'm trying to get a handle on this.
Okay. So yeah, you have 60 days from your year end, your fiscal year end. In our case, it's June 30th to file. Anytime you are soliciting funds, okay, you have to have this statement on the letter or website where you are asking for funds to be sent to your organization. This is mandatory. Okay. I see a lot of solicitations from other organizations that don't have this, and you'll get them from other organizations that don't have them, and the telltale is, are they registered with the state or aren't they? You can, one of the things I do whenever I get solicitations from other organizations is there is a link on here somewhere for Check a Charity. I use it quite regularly. It's in here somewhere. Anyway, and I thought I saw it on this list. Ah, there it is. I knew it was on there somewhere. And you can you can search up and you should find. You'll find all different Lions clubs. The LCIF is in here as well as a foreign, meaning out of state collector, Lions Club International Foundation. So they are registered with the state of Florida as well. This is a good way of finding out if an organization is in good standing and doing their proper filing. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yep.
This applies to the 5001 C4. Does this not apply 501c3?
It applies to both.
So
What we did for our club is we've registered our foundation And we have, actually, we have the club and also soliciting as Wesley Chapel Lions Foundation.
And so that statement's got to be on the page wherever you're asking for money.
Yeah, that statement has to be on anytime you're asking for money.
I got another question. It has to go back to the admit to accounts. I was sort of volunteered for this, and I noticed that there is only an administration account. You're saying you have to have an activities account too?
Yeah, both Lions Club International strongly recommends it. Based on the what the state is insinuating here is that we need to keep them separate.
Okay, is this something new? Because I have to have, if I'm a new member of the club and I have to say, guys, you've been doing it wrong for all these years.
Yeah.
Is this something new?
Tom, give me a second here. It's a basic tenet of Lionism that no money that is raised from the public, that any money that is raised from the public needs to go back to the public or our communities, all right? And that you can't use any of that money that's raised from the public to be used for administrative purposes. So for transparency in accounting, it is suggested that you have two separate accounts. One would be they either call it an activity or a project, or some people call it a foundation account. And then of course the other is the administrative account.
Okay, we don't in our club don't raise any money from the public.
Okay.
Really?
Really?
No.
What club are you with?
Naples Lions Club.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Come.
We get dues. That's it.
But you don't have any fundraising activities.
Yes, for the foundation.
Yeah, okay, well that's the separate account.
Okay, so you're saying, I'll make you understand this. Essentially, the foundation account is the activities account?
It is, that is correct. That is correct, yeah. Some people call it an activity account, but once you become a 501c3, then it becomes your foundation account.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So the other one is sunbiz.org. Now, some clubs, this falls under the treasurer, and some clubs it doesn't. So this is the Secretary of State filing, and the way I do my club every year is I search for the club. And you'll see I have both the club and the foundation. And the information they're looking for here is you have to file annually who the officers of your club are. Okay. And two things to know about this. Typically, it's due March 1st, but because we don't have our elections until April, what we know is at least currently, unless it changes, nonprofits are exempt from the penalty of filing late. So as long as you file by July, they don't charge you a penalty. So we usually wait until our April elections and then we file. And when you file, what you need is this document number, right? And you go back to the page here, and you click on file your annual report.
And what is this called again, please?
This is the Secretary of State Division of Corporations. So now not every club necessarily is incorporated, but they should be. And you put your number in here and it'll bring it up. And well, it's telling me I already filed. And then you go through the process of changing your officers. It's pretty easy. This has to be done every year. For the Division of Corporations, it costs.
Hi. Just I'm
$60.
listening to this.
Pardon me?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. So anyway, it costs $60. So if you have a foundation and you have a 501c4,
I'll be right there. I'll help you out.
you have to file
I'm
both.
just listening. I'm just listening to the rest of this.
Okay. So yeah, that's the dates for that. Sorry. How did I get off track here? All right, we're past 6 o'clock, so let's. Kind of wrap it up. So you can get additional resources from my LCI, the club officer orientation. Sorry. And Lions membership resources. This link here will take us to so what Lions Club International has done in the last couple of years is they've put together key resources for the club treasurer. So this is the lionsclub.org page, standard constitution and bylaws, and then best practices for financial transparency, plus the club treasurer's ebook. You should go through each of those. If your club does not have constitution and bylaws, you should get one. They're a pretty important part of the organization, and they're never important until something goes wrong. And when something goes wrong, that's when you want to make sure you have a clear understanding of what the Constitution and bylaws say. There's another link that you need to be aware of, and you can find these again on my LCI, or sorry, on Lions Club International, lionsclub.org. No, that wasn't, I copied the wrong one. I pasted the wrong one is what happened. But anyway, you can come here and search. They finally got this working right. And you can get a list of types of members, types of clubs, types of members, regular members, family members. This one doesn't include the honorary and other types of members, but there are more. The other thing you can search for here membership dues. Where is it? Come on. Figured, right? And I apologize. I had it earlier. I just didn't keep the link.
Yeah.
But it will explain. It explains the different classes of members, the different dues rates, and be aware. I think it got approved in 2021. The dues will start going up for Lions Club International.
Tom, no, that was not voted on because we didn't have an international convention. So that
Alright.
dues increase did not happen.
So it's not happening?
No.
Or at least not next year?
It'll be voted
Hey,
on at the next international convention.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that. You said the dues are going up in 2021 or not? I'm sorry,
Not.
forgive me.
They are not going up in 2021. There was a proposal on the ballot for the international convention that the dues were going to go up by a percentage. And since we did not have an international convention this year, there was no vote, so therefore it's a non-issue.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So anyway, there are all kinds of additional publications. All of them are found on
Yeah.
lionsclub.org. And if you guys have any questions, we'd be glad to answer them.
This particular, is this a PowerPoint that you put together? Is this on the website, the LCI website?
Yeah, it's where I got the original from.
Okay. So you got the Division of Corporation Renewal out on the SunBiz. I mean, you incorporated that.
Yep.
Okay, great. That's excellent. I'm going to tell you something. That's what we need. You know, our treasurer's been doing it for many, many years. I'm just taking it over and just trying to figure out what I got to do and when I got to submit it.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said, the key things for Florida, you know, like that you'll get, it's kind of is that you'll get the invoice probably the third, maybe the fourth week, depending on.
Yeah, that's the invoice from what? LCI or from the district or what?
The LCI one should be already.
I'm not worried about that. I'll pay that as soon as I get it. What I'm worried about are the Florida sites that I have to pay right now, or at least file right now. Those are the ones I'm concerned about.
Yep. Well, yeah. There's only the federal government 990N, the Department of Agriculture, and the Department of State. And the Department.
So there's the Department of Corporation Renewal. There's the Department of Sales Tax Exemption. Forgive me. I'm just like Florida particular. I'm sorry. And you know what? I'll pay LCI and our 350 and all that. I'll pay those when I get to it. But I just wanted to know what I got to do. That's all I got. Because I don't have that. I don't have that knowledge, that institutional knowledge.
Yeah. The sales tax exemption is only applicable, or is only applicable to the 501c3.
That's what we are.
Are you a 501c3 or a 4?
No, a C3.
The club has to be a C4.
Well, okay, I'll have to figure that out because we're a C3.
Your foundation would be a C3, but your administrative account would be a C4.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
You're
that's
right.
the way when
We are the Inverness Lions Club Foundation Incorporated, and we're a 501c3. So I don't know
Okay,
how
but-
that figures out. I'm
But,
sorry, I just don't, guys.
but your administrative account is a 501c4.
Well,
Where do you deposit your dues?
In the administrative
I'm
account.
sorry, what do you mean where we deposit the dues?
Well,
We put it in the
you-
administrative account. Yes,
The
that's correct.
administrative account,
This
yes.
may help you since I'm.
Yep, we do.
Okay, this may help you. You get a check, somebody has just paid their dues. You got a check in your hand. Now you got to deposit this somewhere.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Deposit
In the administrative account.
Yes,
it.
in the
That's a
administrative account.
501, that's a 4.
That's
All of a sudden, I see a
501c4.
different
That's
picture.
correct.
I don't know where you went to, but whatever. Okay, go ahead.
Say is that deposit, where you're depositing that, that's the C4.
Yes. But
It's a
any
C4.
money that you raise from your community through a fundraiser, that would go into the 501c3.
Okay.
Okay?
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. We call it a charities account.
Yep.
Okay. Maybe that's the 501c3.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it would
that's
be.
where everything we get that helps us with our vision services and
Uh-huh.
all that stuff, gentlemen, that goes into the charities account, which, as you mentioned, is a 501c3.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I got it. I'm
Uh,
sorry. Gentlemen, this is all new to me. I'm sorry. I got dumped in my lap.
Lion Kim, I'm just curious, how did you get the link to this presentation? Because this was only advertised to District I.
and it's in the MD. It's in the MD.
I don't have a goddamn clue. Okay. Forgive me.
We're
You know
happy
what?
you're here.
It got sent to me as a new treasurer, and I took time out of my Friday to
And we're
sit
happy
here
you're
and
here.
listen to it and gain information.
We're happy
And
you're
I
here,
greatly
okay?
appreciate everything you
I'm
guys have
just
shared.
curious how you got the link, because I thought it
I don't know.
history.
You know what? Talk to the webmaster. I don't have a goddamn idea. I'm here.
All right. And,
Forgive
and I'm
me.
going to Kim, I'm going to urge you to please contact your global leadership team in District O, okay, and talk to them. And please talk to District Governor Harry. He's a nice guy. He will.
I have no idea who our global leadership team is. I went down to Lake Alfred for the treasurer training about, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. My wife and I went down there.
Okay.
And the guy who was the district treasurer, he's a great guy. He's a nice guy. But he didn't answer the questions that you guys have answered tonight with regard to the Florida Department of Agriculture, when it has to be filed, the Department of Corporation Renewal, the sales tax exemption. That never got brought up. And so when I got this link, forgive me, just a
Okay.
moment. When I got this link, I thought, okay, great. I'm going to take time out of a Friday afternoon, evening, because these guys will talk about it. You know, guys, look, all right. I just want to do what's right for the Lions.
Very
That's
good.
all.
No, that's good.
That's all I want to do. I want to make sure that what I'm doing as a treasurer is correct and is what is accepted. Okay? I just want to do what's right.
No, it's good. We appreciate it.
We are very
That's
happy
all.
you're here. Very
You
happy
know?
you're here. We're glad you ended up with us this afternoon. All right.
I appreciate that. I'm sorry you had to put up with my questions and all that. But
That's-
I was still confused. I'm sorry. I am.
Yeah, no. And I'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions. You can email me, and all of you, this is true. You can email me at tmaver@wclions.org, and I'll be glad to answer any questions you have anytime.
Forgive me. One more time. I apologize for interrupting. But what is your email address? One more time, please.
It's tmaver. I'll put it in the chat. Now I can see the chat.
Great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I have a question, I have a suggestion.
Yes.
It would really be helpful if on one piece of paper, you listed the filings you just went through, on separate pages, just on one page. These are the filings you have to do, and here's the due date.
Saints
Actually,
be praised.
you look in the chat in the download section there. There's a file that's called Bradenton Lions Club. Bradenton Lions Club Secretary Timeline.
Yeah.
And there's a Word document.
One piece of paper? Is it one piece of paper?
Yeah, it's one piece of paper.
Okay.
Lion Austin,
Yeah.
Lion Austin, I'll send that out to all of our treasurers.
So that would be really helpful for somebody new, so they can.
Yes.
So now I can go back to. other
Okay,
people and say, hey,
Who-
we've done this,
let me,
we've done this.
who is the lady that said she was going to send it out to all the treasurers? Because I got a feeling that I'm not in your treasurers
That's what
group.
No, you're
it
not.
is.
I said that I would do it.
Kim,
I'm sorry.
what's your email?
What's
Kim?
your email?
Okay, listen carefully.
Okay.
My email is RossmanKG. So I'm going to spell it. It's RossmanKG, the @ gmail.com. And
Okay.
if you would send that out to me, I would be greatly appreciated. That would be wonderful.
I'll include you with my mailing.
And
Okay,
mine
that'd be
is,
great.
Linda, you got that? You downloaded that from the chat?
Did you download it? Yes, Jim
Okay.
downloaded it already.
okay, my email is raabe.austin
Wait a minute. RAABE dot.
Austin.
AUSTIN
Okay.
gmail.com.
At Gmail.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Sitting here watching Diana. And if you got any questions, Diana?
Muted.
I think it's Dana.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me.
I'll unmute her.
She's muted now, Russ.
Dear.
Yeah, she's muted.
Thank you, everyone. I have to go. Thank you, Tom. Great questions,
Thanks,
and good
Darlene.
luck, everyone.
Thanks, Lion Darlene. Appreciate you coming.
Thank you, Darlene.
Stay safe, everyone.
Take
All
care.
right.
Have
Have
fun.
a good evening.
And Lion Kim, if you have any questions, you can call me, okay?
You know, I'm sorry. What's your number, please?
It's 941
Yep.
713
Yep.
7069.
I really appreciate it. You know what? I just want to make sure our club is in compliance. I just want to make sure I'm doing my job, you know, that kind of thing. And quite frankly, I just need the information to do that. Okay? I mean, that's all there is. All right, gentlemen,
we're here, okay?
ladies.
We're all one team, all right?
Yep, we are.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate
thank
it.
you all very much.
Take care. Have a
did
great
you
day.
leave us already?
Bye.
Yeah, you did.
Good night.
Okay. Anyway, thank you all very much. Thank you, Linda and Jim. All right. Have a great evening. All right.
Thanks. You too.
Thanks, Austin.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll leave
Hey, guys.
the chat room up for a few minutes if anybody wants to copy anything from it. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. All righty. Good night, all.
Good night.
Okay. Now, this is the. Okay, we got the club membership copied down. Let me see where the others are.
Do you know all your training stuff got into the multiple district newsletter?
Yes.
Yes. That's exactly. Open it back up again. That's exactly what happened.
Well, that's okay.
I didn't know that. Okay. Oh, well.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
All right. Hello? Yes, sir. Yeah. Uh-huh.
There you go. Now try.
I don't know who's. I don't know if they're still there or not. No, there's nobody there.
Chips there.
First of all, that's renewed every 5 years, okay? Sales tax. And you would have to look at the date that expires on your tax certificate. Okay? And your secretary should have a copy of that. But that's a 5-year thing. You don't have to worry about that every year.
Let me explain something about that.
Here, hang on a second. Hang on a second. My wife, who was our secretary, she did the filing on that. I'm going to give it to you to talk to her, okay?
Oh, I'm Jan. Hi. No, not a problem. And I understand your question. No problem. We went through all of this. I did it the hard way, and we had to pay some fines. But anyway, let me go through these step by step. First, you've got you're worried about your tax exempt certification. The problem that occurs there is they will not send a renewal notice to a post office box. Therefore, they will send the renewal notice to whatever address.
The last treasurer or last secretary.
The treasurer that was submitting it 5 years ago. So you have to look at get a copy of it. There'll be an address on there, and you'll look at it and you'll say, oh my gosh, I need to renew it or whatever, or I have 2 years. But anyway, when I made my notebook, I had a big sticky note, not due until such and such. And then you just go through and follow the instructions that were there. Okay, because I think if I remember right, because I'm not secretary this year, so I don't have my big book. But